Okay, and I think we're live right now. Hey everyone, Tejas here from Wakelet. I am joined today with the amazing Stephanie Howell, who's one of the founders of the global GEGs, and she's also an avid Wakelet user. I'm so excited to have you on, Stephanie. So essentially today we're going to go over the latest challenge that we've got with Google for Education. A big shout out to the Google EDU team for helping organize this. It was, a lot of work that went on in the background to get this challenge out to all of you so you could enjoy it and make the most of it as much as possible. I'll also explain to you why we created it. But before I go into that, let me actually take you guys through what Wakelet is, because as I can imagine, a lot of you are probably hearing about Wakelet for the first time, or probably have heard of it, but want to learn a little more about it. So let me just share my screen really quickly. So hopefully you can see my screen now, Stephanie. Awesome. So I'm just going to take you all through, briefly what Wakelet is. So essentially, as a platform, we allow you to save, organize, and present content from across the web. So multimedia content, essentially. And this can sort of be broken down into a few steps. So you sort of start off by literally bookmarking or saving any content from the web, right? So whether that be an article, a video, a blog, a tweet, anything with a link that is publicly viewable can be added into a space or an area on the website we call a collection. And that's sort of where you start off your journey. You either save it into a collection or into your bookmarking area. You can then go on and actually curate all of these amazing tweets or bookmarks, or any other piece of content that you've decided to link in from the web. You can add images, text, and more content to provide it more meaning and to sort of give it context that's personalized to the story you want to tell and the story that you want the content to tell. So whether that be resources you're sharing with your PLN or your students, or whether that be a lesson plan you're creating for your classroom. You can then actually collaborate on this collection. So you can actually go ahead and invite your PLN to collaborate with you, or you could have an assignment submission collection where you have your students jump in on a collaborative link and actually submit their assignments into a collection that you've created specifically for this purpose. Thereafter, you're also given a bunch of options, really amazing options through which you can share your collection to various platforms. We've got Google Classroom. You can actually share your Wakelet collection as a assignment topic area within Google Classroom or as a post, depending on how you'd like to structure it. There's also various other platforms like Teams, OneNote, Twitter, and several other platforms that you can essentially share your Wakelet collection into. So before we sort of dive into the challenge and what it really is, I also want to take you through some of our integrations with Google. And this is sort of fundamental to why we actually created this challenge. So we've got several integration points with Google, as you can see over here. So we've got the single sign-on, where essentially you and your students can sign into Wakelet or sign up to Wakelet with a click of a button using your Gmail or Google accounts. We've got a great classroom, Google Classroom integration where you can share content or a collection straight into Google Classroom from Wakelet. So it's the Share to Classroom extension that we've got inside of the Wakelet collection. We've also got a great YouTube and Google Drive integration. And these are actually core content pieces that we allow for users to access and add from inside of a collection. So essentially what I mean is you can actually sign into your Google account, Google Drive account, and pull content straight from in there, add it into your Wakelet collection to provide more context. Or you can actually search for any video on YouTube straight from inside of Wakelet, depending on the topic that you're curating the collection on, and add one or several videos straight from YouTube into your collection. And it's the most used integration on our platform at the moment. So we've obviously got a very popular Google following on Wakelet. And finally, we've got the Google Chrome extension. So super useful, essentially where you can download the Chrome extension for free and add files straight from the web while surfing, into your collections. So now this is sort of the foundation of our integrations that we've got on Wakelet.com. And, there's a number of ways in which educators have made the most of, several of these integrations in their day-to-day classroom activities and how they've actually expressed classroom learning with their students. And so we were sort of in discussion on how we could use, the already very popular community collaboration that we have behind the scenes, where so many of the Google educators, on a daily basis almost are exchanging ideas with the Wakelet community and sort of are becoming one, really expressing lesson plans and collaborative assignments using the two tools together. And we were kind of thinking of a way in which we could showcase this great collaboration happening within the education community. So, all of you joining in could actually look at some of these amazing pros, essentially people who, use Wakelet and Google on a daily basis, and also perhaps people who've just started off using Wakelet and Google in their classrooms, and see how they've started their journey and see how the pros are actually progress from that sort of beginner stage to using it almost every day in their classroom learning environments. So that's how we sort of came about creating the Google Showcase Challenge. And it's sort of got really three simple steps. We've created this page over here, and I'm sure somebody from the Wakelet team will share this challenge, the link to this challenge on the chat right now. And you can follow along as we go on this webinar, because what this webinar is really meant for is for you to really understand how you can make the most of the challenge, how you can get involved, and also how you can take inspiration from, all of the amazing educators out there who are showcasing how they use Wakelet and Google in the classroom. So it's three simple steps. You come onto this page, of course, and then you can start off by going into the Getting Started collection, where it shows you how to enter, where essentially you either choose the Google for Education X Wakelet Rookie template or the Pro template. You copy it into your Wakelet profile. So, hint, you obviously do need to have a Wakelet profile. So you need to sign in to Wakelet or sign up to Wakelet, copy the collection into your Wakelet profiles, and essentially just fill out the template showcasing if you're a pro, how you use Wakelet on a day-to-day basis. And if you're a rookie, it sort of takes you through the process of how you can get started, so you can instantly sort of see use cases as you're progressing, through the rookie template. And once you've sort of finished creating or populating these templates, you essentially share them to Twitter, tagging Wakelet and Google for Education, and also 3 of your colleagues from your PLN who you'd like to do the challenge. And finally, of course, you include the Wakelet Wave and Google Edu hashtags so that we can see that you've taken part, and send over the swag packs that we've got, digital swag packs, which I will take you towards the end. But for now, obviously one of the core reasons we had Stephanie in is because she's an inspiration to us every day. She's, the founder of one of the founders of the Global GEG. She's using Wakelet avidly, and she's also a great propagator for Google EDU. And she's going to take us through how she sees, the rookie template and the pro template, what she's done. And I think it's going to be really cool to see and take inspiration from what she has to show. So over to you, Stephanie.
All right, I'm just going to share my screen real quick, and then we'll dig in. So if you guys do have questions, I saw a lot of questions around the certificate. My certificate maybe took 3 days to get, and they sent me a message through Twitter. So make sure you have your Twitter DMs on. To ensure that you're able to get that information. And then I just shared my email with them, and I got my digital swag kit. So make sure that you do have those DMs turned on. I don't know if that process has changed since I got certified, but that was the process. Okay, so keep asking those awesome questions in the chat and hopefully we can get those answered. The first way that I noticed about this Wakelet challenge was I was on Twitter. I love Twitter. I love scrolling through Twitter. I learned so much through all of the amazing colleagues, a lot of you on this chat right now. I love following you and learning with you. And so I found this tweet from Wakelet, and they were talking about this showcase challenge. And again, very competitive, love challenges. So I was like, oh, let's look at this. And I'm also, I don't know if he's on right now, but Fred, he is like the badge king. He has to have all the badges. And I was like, I'm going to beat him on this one. So I went in and I went ahead and did the showcase. So let us know real quick if you have done it in the chat. Let us know if you've done the showcase, where you're at in the progress, or if you haven't even started. Maybe you don't know what Wakelet even is, and that's totally okay, because this allows you to have like a step-by-step to be successful at getting the digital swag. So right here is the challenge. And if you scroll down, we're going to start with the rookie. You're going to open it, and all you have to do is 3 of the tasks. Okay, so you don't have to do all of them, even though there's a ton of different ideas and examples on here. All you have to do is 3 tasks. And so once you get on here, you're going to go to these 3 dots and you're going to copy the collection. Once you copy the collection, it is going to go into your Wakelet. And I had to like search, because I use Wakelet all the time, for the collection. So you will have to search for it. And if you have a ton like I do, you can also use the search bar if you remembered what you titled it. Let's see here. I think it was called Showdown. And so once you have your copy of this template, you will then begin the different tasks. And the different tasks are based on different things of Wakelet and Google. So those are 2 things that I really love to do. And so I found an enjoyment out of doing those. So here's my template. I'm going to go ahead and edit it. And then what it had was, on this one, I had to add 3 YouTube videos. So I just added the Google Bootcamp that Global GEG did over the summer. So you just go to the plus sign, you copy and paste the web link for the YouTube video, and you were able to bring it in. You can also search right by YouTube. So I could have searched by YouTube and typed in Global GEG, and I can pull in any of these videos onto my Wakelet. So that was the first challenge that I decided to do. The next one that you could do is adding Google Drive files. So again, you're able to go to Wakelet, and then I could add some files. So I added a Google Slides that I had in my Google Drive. Again, you can go to this little waffle looking thing with the plus sign, go to Google Drive and bring in some of your files that you have in Google Drive to add to your Wakelet. And so once you have those 2, you just need 1 more to complete the rookie assignment. So again, I was in here. I can go ahead and click this one, and I have it right onto my Wakelet collection. Then I decided I love the Chrome extension, which I know in the chat, I saw a lot of you that were so excited to use that Chrome extension. And so to use that Chrome extension, you just have to go and to the Chrome Web Store. Hopefully someone can put that into the chat. And then you just drag and drop it to your collection. And then it goes right onto your Wakelet collection. This is so helpful for my teachers. You can see over here, we have collections that are together, and we just click and drag, and then we're able to focus on different parts of the curriculum and different resources that we might find online or through YouTube or wherever. And all you have to do is open up that blank tab and you have those available. So it can be really helpful for you to do that. Also, you can use it with Google Classroom. I did not do this one. I did this example for like the Pro. So I will walk through that once we get to that step. And what I loved about this challenge was the fact that they had like pro tips. So it says like pro tip, you can add any file from your Google Drive to Wakelet. So there's these little tips throughout. There's these fun gifts during the challenge. And also it gives you a kind of like hints and step-by-step directions on how to do it. There's also a couple of videos linked in if you've never used the Wakelet Chrome extension. So this can be a hands-on way to learn and how to apply your learning in an applicable environment. So you're just going through doing these different challenges. Once you do the challenge, you're going to tweet it out, and then you will get your digital swag pack. And that was it for the rookie. Is there any questions that I missed? Yes, you don't need a Twitter to do the challenge. It was just advertised on social media, and I'm sure we can share the link in the chat with all of that information. So yeah, you don't need to have a Twitter. I think to get your digital swag pack, you'll probably need to email Wakelet.
Yeah, sorry, I can, so essentially, Stephanie's right. There's no hard compulsory or hard block from us if you don't have Twitter. If, for example, you are, so essentially what we've been doing to process these certificates in the digital swag pack is we've been sending you DMs, right? So what Stephanie said, please do keep that in mind. Please check your DMs. And if you don't have Twitter, what we can do is, I think we'll put a message out on Twitter. You can email us once you've finished on support@wakelet.com. Somebody will add in our support email on the chat right now. And if you email us on that particular address that, hey there, we've finished the rookie template or we've finished the pro, we're not on Twitter, could you send us over our swag packs? We'd be more than happy to send it over to you. So it shouldn't be a problem.
All right, I don't know if I missed any other questions. Someone said they missed the first 15 minutes. You are able to rewatch this webinar, so feel free to do that. You can go back now, or you can keep watching live with us, but it will be available after. What's the digital swag pack? I'm not telling you. You have to do the challenge to figure out what is inside that digital swag pack. So I'm not going to give that away. So on the next one, which is the pro, let me go ahead and go back. So right here, the rookie, I did this one first. I thought it was really easy, but I'm also a Wakelet user. So I've used all those different tools. Again, if you haven't used it, there are walkthroughs on how to do everything and step-by-step directions, which is super, super nice. So then the next one is the pro. Again, you click it, 3 dots, you're going to make a copy of the collection. And I loved how they set this up because it made me think about how can I use this in the classroom? I could have a template for my students laid out just like Wakelet did with this showcase challenge. And I can have my students copy a collection. Just a reminder though, that there are age restrictions for students to use Wakelet. So just double check those and double check with your district. So I'm going to go ahead and copy this. Again, I have to go to my Wakelet, find that collection. So here's the one that I did do. So my template has been done. I created one with Google Classroom. So what I had to do is, let me go back real quick, is again, you're picking three different tasks out of the 5. So you could have, scroll down, there we go, Google Classroom. So it's just showing what collection have you shared with students. So we created an ancient civilization Wakelet I created this with another teacher, and we have all these different activities for the students to explore about the topic. And so students got this topic, they got it pushed out through Google Classroom, they clicked it, they were to explore. And then once they did that, I just showed a screenshot that it was assigned to the Google Classroom so that I could show that students had access to it. Then on the next one was a YouTube video. So I had to insert 3 YouTube videos above. These were videos of me, so you, teaching others, explaining why you love Wakelet and Google for Education, or videos you have used in maybe other Wakelet collections. So for this example, I went ahead and I talked about immersive reader. I love how Wakelet has that immersive reader piece. It's this button right here. And if students click this button, they can have it read aloud to them. You won't be able to hear it because I have headphones on, but it is reading out loud. Also, they can click these different tools over here to change the font size. They can also change the different colors to help them if they need that. Also, they're able to click and there's a picture dictionary. So it can be really helpful for students using that immersive reader piece. The next thing I talked about was creating a Wakelet collaboration. So working with colleagues, because I am a technology coordinator, I work with a lot of colleagues. So I was talking about how we use the different collaborations in a teacher-based team to work together on saving resources. And then I talked about how I added the Wakelet to a Google Classroom post. So I just created 3 quick videos. I used Screencastify, which is up here. I just hit record and then I just saved them to YouTube and added them in. So again, pretty easy content if you know Wakelet and are able to kind of show what your 3 favorite things are. Also maybe adding some of the Google products with that. Then on here, there was another option of a Google Drive file. So I could have inserted 3 Google Drive file links to the Wakelet if I wanted to. I did not choose this option because I love, again, that Google Chrome extension. So I wanted to use that Google Chrome extension to show my knowledge in the challenge. So down here, I went ahead and did the Google Chrome extension and I did a video explaining how to use it. Because again, in the pro, they want to know more of you showing how do you use it, what do you use it for, and creating that own collection. And then again, you just add your evidence. And I again love how Wakelet organized this so that I could use this with my teachers, my students, and then kids could insert their own learning evidence of what they've done. And then once you finish, you again post it right onto social media, and then you can get it your digital swag pack. Again, it's fun, you learn a lot, and then you're able to share your learning with others. And if there's any questions, can you add videos from your Drive rather than YouTube? Let's see here. Let me go to my collection to show you that. Let me edit this one. And so when I want to add a video, there's 2 options. You can go straight to YouTube. You can also do Flipgrid if you have it on Flipgrid. And then if I had, let me see if I can find one. I can add videos right on here that are in my Drive as well. So this is what it kind of looks like as a Google Drive one. I just like the way that YouTube looks. So that's why I picked that option. And you can do unlisted if you didn't want to make it public. Okay, there looks like there's a ton of questions. Let's see, where should I start? And thank you, some of you who are answering the questions too. Can you get rid of the directions in your challenge submission? I did. Very type A type of person, and I just got rid of them and I just left my evidence for it. So yes. Can students take the challenge? That's a good question. I think so.
So at the moment, just to interject, obviously your students are more than free to do the challenge, but like Stephanie said at the beginning, please check with your district on the restrictions on your students being able to use the platform. Currently, students above the age of 13 are able to have an account, so they can do it. But the challenge was built keeping in mind teachers, and it was a teacher for teacher challenge. But feel free to invite your students to do it as well. As long as they're over the age of 13, they are allowed to have account on Wakelet, and so they're able to do it. But that was amazing, Stephanie. Thanks so much for showcasing how you've done the rookie and pro. That was truly inspirational, and that's literally why we built this challenge. I mean, we were really hoping that it could, in some sense, showcase how educators use Wakelet and Google in their classroom. And then, I've heard so many times where people have, or educators have come to me and said, we really like Wakelet, but we're sort of, we've heard so much about you, but we really want to know how we can use you in the classroom. And if you're a Google educator, this is sort of a perfect starting point. You can sort of start off by using the two tools together, and then you can sort of progress to a point where perhaps you get into the more advanced collaborative use cases on Wakelet, like Stephanie showed you, where she's actually got multiple spaces. Now, I'm not going to go into that topic now because we're going to be here for a very long time if we stay in. And another thing that came up, obviously, was, I think, the digital swag packs. I'm going to show you a little teaser of what may be in them, just so that you guys know, what you're sort of in for. I think it's super exciting. It's something that we were really excited to try out. This is obviously the first time we've ever done digital swag packs. And, obviously, another disclaimer, everyone that has said that they haven't received their swag packs yet, we do apologize for this. You will receive your swag pack as soon as possible. It's just, I think we are kind of waiting so you can send us your emails. So if you haven't received, or if you're not on Twitter, we'd recommend you email us at support@wakelet.com. But if you are on Twitter and you have done the challenge and shared it out, you can be rest assured that we have sent you a DM. So check your DMs, and also if you've not checked your requests inside of your DMs, because if you're not following the Wakelet account, obviously it goes straight into your request. So you might not see that we've DM'd you. So please do have a look on that. So I'm going to just take you through very briefly what the two digital swag packs contain. So this is the rookie swag pack. You can already see we've got the new reactions here. Super cool to see that. But essentially, we've got a little starter over here, congratulatory message. The certificate will be sent to you filled out, so don't worry about that. And we've also got really cool badges. And we've got, some layovers for your Twitter profiles or your other social media profiles. I don't want to show you everything, but I think, I'd be taking away the mystery from it if I took you through everything. So I'm going to.
Oh, yeah, don't show them everything.
Exactly. And I'm going to show you also a little bit of the pro, similar sort of format. Congratulatory message. The badges are different colored. You're also then, we take off this. Obviously, you were invited for the webinar today. And then we've got a really cool Google Meet background, but I'm not going to show you the whole thing. Perhaps after you do the challenge, you'll be able to see some really cool graphics here. And obviously, this the same thing, right? We've got layovers, we've got badges, but all custom made for the pros. So, some really exciting things for sure. I don't want to take you through the whole thing and take the mystery out of it, but all of you who have done it, be rest assured that it's on its way to you. So please don't worry. Check your DMs. If you've already sent us your email, you should be receiving it very soon. If you're not on Twitter, please email us. Let us know that you've done it, and we'll send it across to you as soon as. But yeah, that's pretty much everything we had in store for you today. Thanks again to all of you for tuning in and joining us today, and a big thank you to Stephanie. We can't wait to see how all of you take part and the sort of inspiration that comes out of this, and to then see educators around the world using Google and Wakelet together in their classrooms would be amazing. Thanks again, and yeah, we'll see you online on Twitter, or looking forward to hearing from you on email. See you. Bye.
Bye, guys.
Yeah, I think we should be offline right now.